Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Film Optics Podcast, brought to you by the Drive-In Podcast Network, where we discuss film, TV, and everything pop culture related here on the channel. I'm your host, Christian, and this is my co-host, Devin, and today we're going to get into a lot of big stuff. We got a lot of big news topics to talk about, and we also have our WandaVision review coming up later on in the pod, so we're going to start right after this.
Faith. This is the way. Truth is, I am Iron Man.
Tells me the most momentous.
What an intro!
What an intro, right? Like,
wow.
He gets.
I'm inspired.
Gets the juices going.
Fired up.
Nobody knows what that means. It's provocative.
Get people going.
Man, oh man, that song. But yes, this is the Film Optics podcast. Each and every week, we will be bringing the news to you here on YouTube and, of course, on our podcast as well. For all you audio listeners, this will be up as a podcast later on early Saturday because, you know, we got stuff to do. But it'll definitely be up early tomorrow morning for all of you audio listeners out there, or for the people who haven't been able to, you know, check up on the podcast. So before we begin today's topics, we're going to get into the news first. You know, we're going to talk about the big news stories this week, and then we're going to go into our WandaVision review. Something we're trying out here. We're trying to, you know, lighten the load, so to speak, so we can.
And if you're watching or listening, let us know if you think we should start off with the WandaVision review or end with it.
Yeah,
give us some feedback.
Yeah.
We're working things out.
We really are, because we were pumping out a lot of stuff there for a while, and I was like, you know what, we can condense some stuff and see what's going on. But before we begin today's topics in our review, a little bit of housekeeping here for everyone. You can listen to this podcast on podcast platforms around the internet, and make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram for all of our latest announcements. So yeah, there we go. So let's get into the big news of the week, Devin. The big cojones, as they like to say. We got some. Oh, got him! All right,
Snyder horn.
The Snyder. I like that. The Snyder horn. So, I guess I'll just start with. Actually, I'll let you start with this one because I have a little bit to say about the next bit news. But
we got some news this week. A change of plans here for the Snyder cut.
The Snyder cut.
It's no longer a 4-part mini series type of 4-episode, hour-long each. It's no longer. They're changing it up. Just one long release.
Yeah.
4 hours. Got to sit there, watch it all in one sitting.
Oof.
Longer than The Irishman.
Is it longer than the? I thought the Irishman was like 3.5.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry. God, I'm losing my mind, Evan. I'm so sorry. But what is your take on this? Because I know I have a lot to say, so I'm going to let you go ahead first.
I feel like they're just doing this so they could put it in theaters as well.
Yeah. But then, like, okay, it's okay. If they're going to release this, you know, if this is for the fans, which I call BS on, by the way, because if this was truly for the fans, they would not be marketing this for HBO Max. They're pushing this on HBO Max. Clearly, there is an alternative motive. If this was truly just for the fans, and this is just, you know, me speaking from my own thoughts, they would have just released it on Blu-ray and been done with it. Like, the people who want to buy it. Boom, you have your movie. It's like they're making this big, grand, like, announcement out of it. It's like, oh, it's on HBO Max. Obviously, that's going to drive in people. But people like you and me, we know about the Snyder Cut. We follow this news closely. Not a lot of other people do. I'm pretty sure with The Irishman, the completion rate on when it first dropped on Netflix was around 17 to 18%. I think I read that. It was I forgot that article.
Not surprising.
Not surprising at all. But like for the casual viewer, they were like, oh my God, a 4-hour movie? Like, that's going to take forever. And I think they should have tackled it as a miniseries, or even better yet, give people the option to watch it, both. I'm not both ways. So either have it as a 4-hour movie.
I mean, technically, you can watch it however you want. You can watch it in 100
it's
4-minute
all about the
increments or
pacing.
whatever.
It's all about the pacing. It's like, you know what? I'm just gonna watch it on my Apple Watch. And
I'm gonna watch it in Quibbies only.
Quibi view only. Portrait mode, not even landscape.
Yeah,
just,
on my phone.
just on your
minutes,
phone.
10-minute increments.
It's like that one guy from E3 who was holding his phone like this.
That was painful.
You were like, what is he doing? I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, I'm happy it's coming out. I'm interested. I do want to see it. But I don't feel like this is just for the fans. Like I said, they would not have made this big of a deal out of it. Release it on Blu-ray, bing, bang, boom, call it a day. You have your movie. Congratulations. Watch it however you want. Review it however you like. And just be done. So that's just my 2 cents on it. But I feel like it's all about the pacing, like even if it was a miniseries, I'd rather it come out episodically all at once for people to kind of like, okay, here's part 1, here's part 2, here's part 3, here's part 4. Because I believe for Lord of the Rings extended editions, each movie clocks in around 4 hours. But they're smart about this because they separate the movie onto 2 discs, so it's 2 hours per. And there's a perfect, like they pace it to where it's like, okay, we're gonna cut it off here and say the story continues on disc 2. It's perfect because that's how I watch the extended cut. I don't sit there for 4 hours straight and just, obviously you can say, oh, well, you can just pause it or something like that. But it's just, I feel like that's too of an oversimplification of this issue that some people are having, because clearly the hardcore fans don't care. But if you're a casual person out there, you're not going to sit down and you're going to lose your place. It's just too much going on. But anything else you wanted to touch on that before we head over to our next bit of news?
It's too big to fail.
Is it too big to fail? Because we saw that what's it called? Well, I think it was Film Theory. They were saying like it's too big to fail. I don't know how this is going to turn out. I'm not expecting like Avengers Endgame quality here. I don't even think you can compare this to Avengers Endgame. I think you can compare it to the first Avengers movie, because this was their reactionary, to, I think it was around Age of Ultron when it came out, randomly. And there was like, oh, there's a Justice League movie coming out. We're like, wait, what? Like, who are these characters? Who are these people? So I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I'm excited to see it because I do want to see his full vision, but at the same time, the longer a Zack Snyder movie is, the worse it becomes. Just saying.
He likes them long, so that's pretty much all of them.
Be Zack Snyder snidering all over the place and just being Zack Edgelord. I don't know. But that's just my 2 cents. Anything else you wanted to touch on before we move on here?
Moving on.
All right, let's move on here to the Batman animated series sequel. There's reportedly, a sequel in development for HBO Max. This comes from comicbookmovie.com, not our friends over at comicbook.com, comicbookmovie.com. They kind of got around that whole thing. So, have you seen the animated series at all? Or
I have not.
It is really good. I haven't seen it all the way through. But from what I have seen, like I haven't seen it all the way through like I did. It's like the 90s Spider-Man for DC fans, essentially. It is really, really good. And you can actually watch the animated series. It's on HBO Max right now. They've been doing a really good job putting a lot of their old school stuff on there. I think Ed and Eddie's on there, Codename Kids Next Door, even Batman Beyond is on there, the entire show. So I'm kind of excited about this. So it's it's news that they're looking to make that animated series sequel to continue forward with the story. I guess Kevin Smith, who was one of the creators of the original show, he said that at this point he's not involved with it, but he's heard things from very, very reliable people, like extremely reliable people. So,
The Jorts King himself, Kevin Smith.
yeah, I mean, the series ran for about, well, see, it came out in 92 and ended around like 95, I think. So there's no way we really would have, we kind of saw it, you know, when the reruns happened, you know what I mean? So it's, we're kind of in that camp. So I guess it is what it is there. But there's just been a lot of news this week, I just have to say, about a little bit depressing news about a lot of movies are getting pushed back. So it's very, it's depressing. I'm not gonna lie. It kind of actually
It's nothing new.
Yeah, but
we do have some good news here. We've got some Matt Damon news. Matt Damon's staying in the news here.
Staying relevant with today's times.
Matt Damon has officially joined the Thor Love and Thunder cast.
Ooh.
He was in Ragnarok as Loki, and that was an amazing cameo. He was in Deadpool as a random redneck. That was interesting.
He was. I forgot about that.
Now is it going to be an official character or just another cameo? We'll have to find out.
I'm hoping it is an official character, but I mean, everyone wants to see their favorite actor or actress in an MCU movie in some shape or form.
There's not many left that aren't in the MCU.
Yeah, there's not a lot at all. But hey, I mean, hey, if Blade can play the villain on, I think it was Luke Cage,
Mouth or something.
Yeah, no, he's in Luke Cage, and then now he's playing Blade. It's like, oh man, I mean, the continuity, not everything needs to be so airtight to the point where it's just, oh well, you know, like this doesn't make sense because of this and blah 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 blah. And I just, the only thing I've really not like when people criticize MCU is like, oh, you know, they say it's this giant universe, so everything has to be consistent 100% of the time. Star Wars is nowhere near 100% of the time. Even before Disney bought it, there was no consistency. The original theatrical trilogy of Star Wars for 4, 5, and 6, you can't find those anywhere, because not even even with Disney, you know, tampering with it to try to make it more, you know, of the same universe. George Lucas was doing the same thing. So it's like, you know, with tampering with Anakin's Force Ghost, adding him in with one of the later versions and stuff. I don't even think you can find the original like theatrical versions that were released back in like the 70s and 80s. I think I saw like a DVD like at this one like Emporium comic book like movie store that's nearby me. It was going for about $150, and I was like, no, absolutely not. But yeah, I'm really excited that Matt Damon is you know, finally officially joining the MCU fray.
From one great actor to another here with this next news topic.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we also had Karen Gillan. She said she was going to be returning as Nebula in Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah, it makes sense. Get the whole Guardians crew in there.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, go ahead. We got some big news here.
We got a real actor here.
Oh,
top of the top. Ethan Hawke, Hawkman himself, will be the villain in Moon Knight.
Ooh,
that is intriguing.
That is going to be very. I'm actually really excited about this. I mean,
two great actors going against each other in that show. That's going to be so good.
Now we just need Maya Hawke. Oh,
yeah. She isn't in the MCU yet. Let's get her in here.
Yeah, let's
join Dad.
Yeah, join Dad. Get Uma Thurman in there as well.
Yeah,
you know,
the whole family.
The whole family just.
They could be the Fantastic Four.
Oh, who would be okay?
Except there's no daughter.
No daughter. They can be a Fantastic Four. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. But hey, it is what it is. But yeah, I'm really excited for this. You know, he's finally joining in the MCU. You know, we've seen him Training Day, Sinister, and you know, from all of his amazing Oscar-nominated performances. And he's playing the villain in Moon Knight, so it's going to be Oscar Isaac
versus Ethan Hawke. That should be the title.
you imagine Shia LaBeouf was in there?
Too bad he is not a great person.
Yeah, it's been he's been going through a lot of stuff again lately. But yeah, I honestly think they should just change Moon Knight to change it to Oscar Isaac versus Ethan Hawke and call it that. Oscar versus Hawke. Oscar v. Hawke. There you go.
And they have the same mother's name.
Why did you say that name? Wait, do they? I don't know. They might. Maybe in real life. We really don't know.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. So, congratulations to Ethan Hawke on that amazing endeavor of his. But we have some Spider-Man news coming up here as well. Looks like Spider-Man 3. And really quick before I talk about this, I got duped today on Twitter because that stupid fake discussing film page popped up. Because all these other movies were getting delayed. All these other Sony movies with Morbius and Uncharted. And of course you had the James Bond and whatnot. And they're like, oh, Spider-Man 3 has been delayed to 2022. I was so pissed. I was like,
it's going to happen though.
I'm hoping it's not.
They pushed Morbius back, and Morbius is probably connected to this movie somehow. So
I'm they just need to, they really need to they need to release this crap on streaming. At this point, please take my money. I will pay to watch Black Widow at home. I will pay to watch James Bond.
Would you pay to watch Morbius though?
I will not pay to watch Morbius if my life
Exactly.
depended on it. Absolutely not. I don't know about that one. I was like, oh no, Morbius is. I'm just saying, man, it's no bueno. It's no bueno. No bueno at all.
Poor Jared Leto.
Who cares much?
Just doing too much.
He wants to do so much, and it's nothing really seems to be going his way. Ever since Suicide Squad, honestly, he was pretty good in Blade Runner 2049, but it's all right. But coming up here, we have Spider-Man 3 will be set during Christmas. And also, Charlie Cox has reportedly wrapped filming for Spider-Man 3, which makes me really excited because I've been watching Daredevil. I finally sat down because, it's for whatever reason, I didn't watch it when the hype was real. I didn't watch any of the Marvel TV shows. I think I started watching Jessica Jones. I got 2 episodes in. I got 3 episodes into Daredevil, and then I got sidetracked, so I watched something else. Now I'm halfway through Daredevil season 1, and I'm really, really excited for it. I'm very it is really, really good. Charlie Cox is phenomenal, and I when I was a kid, I used to love the. I know a lot of people don't like it now, but the Ben Affleck Daredevil.
Oh
movie.
yeah,
it was just so. You're a kid, you just see your favorite superhero, one of your favorite superheroes, and you just go bonkers. It's you don't really care about how good or bad the movie is. I used to love Spider-Man 3 when I was a kid, and then when I got older, it just didn't become one of my favorite Spider-Man movies. I'll still watch it, but it's not one of my favorites, at all. So it's I don't know.
Kids are stupid.
Yeah, we're oblivious. Kids are oblivious. Kids are naive. They're not in tune as they are in their later years. But hey, some people still love, the old cheesy lines, the old cheesy aspect, the plot line. I used to love Batman and Robin, with Arnold Schwarzenegger when I was a kid. I honestly didn't know how widely hated that movie was. Because it's so silly and so goofy.
The bat nipples.
Got the bat card. Never leave home without it. Oh, but hey, it is what it is, man. But I'm really excited for Spider-Man 3. Hopefully, maybe I'll take a page out of Spider-Man Miles Morales that we got from PlayStation, PS4, and /PS5 because that story was also set around that time too. So it's. I don't know. I don't really know what's going to be happening because the last time we saw Spider-Man was, his identity was out to the entire world. So fast forward to Christmas, I guess that's a good stopping point. I don't know. What do you think?
I think he's going to need a lawyer. That's what I think.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. Better call Saul. Get him in there.
I wouldn't mind.
I wouldn't mind that either, honestly. But yeah, there's also rumors with Charlie Cox. Apparently, he may not be appearing as Daredevil himself, but as Matt Murdock, the lawyer, not Daredevil, the kick-ass blind superhero. But
One step at a time.
yeah, one step at a time for sure. And I'm really hoping they kind of bring back Kingpin too, because he's so freaking good. Anyway, Devin, we got some big kaiju news here. Godzilla versus Kong will now release in March in theaters and on HBO Max. It got pushed up from its May release date. And March right now is very, very stacked. We got a lot of big things coming out. We have the Falcon and Winter Soldier. We have, of course, Godzilla versus Kong. We have now we have Amazon's Invincible series coming.
WandaVision finale. Coming to America.
And there was something else. I can't really remember.
Raya.
Oh, yeah, and Raya. Yeah. It's going to be March is going to be amazing. I mean, whatever, COVID's going on, but like we are set with content. And with all these other movies being pushed back, I think this is like the perfect time to kind of, this is the perfect time for TV at all, like everywhere. Like I was listening to the Nerd Suit podcast and their most recent episode, they were talking about how maybe Black Widow should have been more of a TV show. But I mean, obviously it's already made into a movie, so there's not much you can do about that. But given the circumstances, they keep pushing everything back, and I'm like, really, really hoping I'm hoping Raya and the Last Dragon doesn't get moved. I'm really hoping they don't push back Black Widow. I'm like praying, and Spider-Man, just keep them as it is. But
speaking of March being stacked, we got you excited to subscribe to Paramount Plus? Yeah. Launching March 4th.
Another streaming service,
replacement for CBS All Access, which already no one cared about.
So are we diving into this? Because I know we did with Disney Plus.
They're gonna give us a 90-day free trial like Quibi did.
That was a long free trial. Actually, the longest free trial we've actually gotten is Apple TV Plus. That
wasn't free because we did buy an Apple product.
Yeah. But hey, I mean, it was a nice incentive. These Apple products pay for themselves, man. I don't know.
It just keeps extending.
Yeah. I think it's going through like February now. I'm like, okay. They're like, hey, we just dropped Dickinson, so let's just extend it through that time and just have a good time. But yeah, Paramount Plus is coming out March 4th.
Who cares?
I really don't like. I mean, I'm kind of interested, but not really. I know a lot of people out there, like they will try to make the argument that, internet's just becoming cable, but online. It's like, yeah, but here's the best part. Let's say that you're signed up for 6, 7 streaming services. You can cancel any of those at any time. Technically, right now, there's a lot of people probably re-signed up for Disney Plus. You know how many people signed off after Game of Thrones? From HBO when Game of Thrones is over? A lot of people did, because there was a lot of casual fans out there who wanted to watch the next big thing. But you're always going to have your retention rate, those returning customers who know the worth of HBO or the worth of whatever streaming service that they're that they're signing up to, that keeps them around. I can't remember the last time I actually canceled from Netflix. It's been a few years.
No need.
Yeah, it's like I don't understand the whole, it's becoming internet cable. In a way, yes, but I mean, we do see a few of these are being bundled, but you can cancel these at any time, and that is the beauty of streaming services. If you signed up for The Mandalorian and fell off, I'm like, oh, I kind of want to check out WandaVision. Boom, okay, pay for like the next 2 to 3 months for WandaVision, Loki, and Falcon and Winter Soldier. And then if there's nothing else that interests you, cancel your subscription until, I don't know, the Book of Boba comes out. Like it's beautiful. That's what I love about it. I cut the cord a long time ago. I don't have cable at all. And honestly, it's way, way better for me at least, but it is what it is. But yeah, Paramount Plus, it's cool, I guess. Maybe it's going to be better than Discovery Plus that came out. I really don't know what's supposed to be on here. It's this, I guess, The Godfather, it looks like. BET, Nickelodeon, MTV, and Comedy Central are heading that way. Oh, man, that means we're going to lose South Park on HBO Max.
And Avatar.
Yeah. Well, Avatar just came to Netflix, in America at least, and Legend of Korra. See, all I got to do, it doesn't really matter to me. You know want to know why? Because I have Avatar and Legend of Korra on Blu-ray. So this does not affect me whatsoever. So just physical media for the win. Just wanted to throw that out there. But you have any other comments, questions, concerns about this till we move on here?
Let's just move on to someone who's batshit crazy.
Yeah, you want to take this next story?
Yeah, I sent you those pictures of Army Hammer's DMs that were floating around the internet.
Ooh,
where he
that was interesting for sure.
He is apparently into cannibalism, if these screenshots are to be believed. He wants to eat people and their blood and enjoys that.
I really don't know how true it is. I'm just gonna plead the fifth,
But he has dropped out of the movie he was going to appear in, called A Shotgun Wedding. Has been replaced by Josh Duhamel. It's been a while. Haven't seen Josh Duhamel in a long time.
Yeah, haven't seen him in a while. But I was interested in this either way. But yeah, the whole Army Hammer thing was like really, really weird. I don't know. Maybe half of it's true, half of it's false. I haven't really looked too much into it, nor do I plan to.
I mean, I feel like if he's dropping into movies, there's got to be dropping odd movies. There's got to be some truth behind it.
Yeah, there definitely has to be.
Why would you drop out if it wasn't true?
Exactly. And I mean, I guess you could make the argument, oh, he didn't have a choice. I'm like, well, he had a choice, but he chose to drop out. So I don't know. I'm very excited for this. Not much to comment on here. I'm not sure when this film is actually supposed to drop either. It doesn't really say here in the Variety article, but hey, congratulations, Josh. Welcome to the Shotgun Wedding. But Devin, you want to take this last one here, then I'll kill off the last one. We'll go into our WandaVision review.
This kind of goes along with the Paramount Plus news and stuff that nobody needs, but is being made anyways. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory spinoff Wonka movie. It gets a release date. Let's open up this link here, see when.
So a lot of people are saying that
March 17th, 2023.
March 17th, 2023.
And the rumor is that they're looking at either Tom Holland or Timothy Chalamet to play a young Wonka.
No.
Those are good. Those are interesting choices, but why do we need a young Wonka series or movie?
Why do we need a Wonka series? Why do we need a SpongeBob spinoff prequel series? Honestly, why do we need a droid series through Disney Plus? How did C3PO and I'm surprised they didn't just call it the R2D2 show, because we know where C3PO came from, but it's kind of like the whole, where did Han Solo come from? How did he get his name? I don't care. I really don't care. And I know that sounds cynical, that sounds rude, but I really don't care. I don't care about anything from Han Solo's past unless I don't care. And I really don't care about a Willy Wonka spinoff movie. Gene Wilder, honestly, that was probably the best. I love that movie so much growing up. The Johnny Depp version was okay, but
interesting.
Yeah, literally straight up look like Michael Jackson.
Pretty much.
But hey, it is what it is. I just don't think this is needed. But anyway, let's go to our last news story here before we jump into our review. We have The Last of Us HBO series finds its director for the pilot episode. And I was kind of confused by this because I thought Craig Mazin was supposed to direct because that's the way they made it seem. Like 100% of the time, I'm pretty sure it was either the Hollywood Reporter or Variety had kind of touched on it, but looks like Kantemir Balagov, the Canis darling behind the drama Beanpole, has been tapped to direct the pilot episode for the adaptation of the hit video game. I've said it on the podcast before. I'm not super excited about video games being adapted into TV or like film. I mean, if you're going to do it, TV would be the best way. But for me, it's just that story was already perfect. Like I've played it and I've experienced that story in its best form that you can ever experience a story like with interactivity, of course, of video games. And I think that's what makes it so special because you become these characters versus passively watching them on the screen. Like I'm definitely going to check it out because Last of Us is one of my favorite video games of all time. I guess it was only a matter of time because there has been a lot of talk in the past about everyone's like, oh yeah, like it would be awesome. This is like a series or something. It's like, well, it's kind of already awesome the way it is, but I'm definitely going to check it out. I know Neil Druckmann, the game's creative director from The Last of Us and from Uncharted 4. He's going to be tied to the project as well. Craig Mazin will be writing it, and Neil Druckmann will be executive producer. So we'll just have to kind of wait and see. I'm interested in if there is a network to put this on. It is HBO because the story is that good. It's just I feel like if someone who watches this all the way through, I've watched it and played the video game. Like I mean. Yeah, like I can relate to them, but like I have such a different experience with this story that happened back in like 2013 and onward. Every single time I play it, I absolutely love it. But do you have any quorums about this? But you haven't played The Last of Us yet, have you?
No, I have not.
You need
I'm working
to.
my way through God of War.
Oh, you're okay. How are you liking that one?
It's all right. It hasn't really blown me away yet, but.
Well, see, okay, so you've never really played the other God of Wars, so I can understand if this is your first God of War experience overall, and it's going to be different from everybody else's for sure. But I did download that Resident Evil 8 Village demo. I haven't played it yet because I'm too much.
Why would you do that?
You're
never going to play that.
I'm gonna try it tomorrow. Broad daylight. It's happening. It's happening. Broad daylight. Mark my words. And like I don't know why. I've never played a Resident Evil game before, and I know that is extremely, extremely shocking. But it's just not my cup of tea. But I'm gonna try it out. And hey, Tom Holland doesn't like scary movies either. By the way, if you watch that Actors on Actors with him and Daniel Kaluuya. So I'm gonna butcher his last name. Anyway, yeah, Daniel Kaluuya. Kaluuya? Kaluuya.
I don't think it's Kaluuya.
Kaluuya. We'll just say Kool-Aid? Kaluuya. We'll say Kaluuya. But yeah, yeah, dude, I really like once you're done with God of War, I do recommend The Last of Us. It is just I hate trying to like overhype something, but I just want people to play it. I've had a few friends here that have played it, and they're like, "Oh, is it good?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's good. Just play and let me know what you think." Like, I don't want to overhype something, but I do want you to get to it at some point in time.
I will.
All right. Was there anything other straggling news you kind of wanted to mention before we get into the meat and potatoes?
Time for the big show.
Oh, are you ready for this one, Devin? I'm not sure if you're ready. We're about to go into our WandaVision review, everyone. Yeah, there we go. I love this thing. It's amazing. But yes, so now we're going to be going into our episode 3 review, which is actually titled In Color. I didn't know that each episode had their own.
In color.
Yeah, now in color. So yeah, episode 3, our WandaVision review starts now. So Devin, holy
We got
crap.
some action now.
I can finally talk about
things are picking up.
Yeah, I can finally talk about this with like you and everyone else because I got the first 3 episodes through screening, and I was like, I can't talk about episode 3 like at all. And like even last week when we had Leo on, you know, it was so hard for us to kind of contain because yes, the first 2 episodes were really, really good, but this one really just like so much happens. You know, episode 2 leaves off with Wanda magically being pregnant, and we find out in this episode. And by the way, this is spoilers. By the way, we're just gonna kind of go straight into it. But before we get into a little bit of the spoilers, I wanted to get your first thoughts on this episode before we kind of officially go into spoilers.
It was really good. I mean, first 2 episodes, they're kind of setting everything up, kind of showing you what the world's like, what to expect, kind of. This episode is going into what to expect going forward, the future.
Yeah.
And it had some more action going on, had some more things happening all at once, and then the ending, there's just so much possibilities. And the twins are here.
The twins are here. Yes, they are.
Billy and Tommy.
Yeah, Billy and Tommy are
American names. Also,
you know,
the names of Speed and Wiccan. They are.
Oh yeah,
here.
That is
Young Avengers, possibly.
Young Avengers. Yeah. That is something I'm very interested in because, you know, with this episode, it really, like you said, we're starting to get into the meat and potatoes of it. There was a lot of eerie factors about this episode, and you know, between Wanda's birth and whatnot, it's just I love this series so much. Not like because it is in the form of a sitcom, and that is one of my favorite types of genres of TV, situation comedy. Of course, episode 3 kind of tackles the 70s. You know, we have the neighbors talking outside, and we have Herb chain which sawing his way through the old stone. It's just like something is obviously off in this town. Small town. You know, it's hard to leave a small town. You know, of course, we'll get into that in a bit, but yeah, I kind of just wanted to get your thoughts on it, and you know, I'm sure we're both in agreement here that it's amazing. So let's just dive right into the spoilers. So you've been warned, spoiler territory right now going on. So we got Billy and Tommy, we got Monica Rambeau, who is Geraldine, gets booted out after
with her sword logo. And Pietro.
She was like, why
Don't
did you
say that name?
That was like the creepiest part, by the way. I just want to talk about that scene really quick because right after she gives birth to Tommy and Billy, you know, they're arguing about like, oh, you know, if she's rapidly getting pregnant, they don't know when she's going to, you know, give birth. And, you know, they're like, oh, Vision's like, I like the name Billy. And then she's like, well, I like the name Tommy. It's a classic all-American name. Like, you know, it's a perfect Tommy and Billy are like the 2 perfect names for like the 70s. So they're very basic names. I'm sorry for names.
I like
Tommy
how it's not
Billy.
just like Thomas and Williams, just straight up Tommy and Billy.
Yeah, Tommy and Billy. So it really does play off that. And you know, after when she's talking to Geraldine, aka Monica Rambeau,
which we all knew.
Yeah.
Like,
it's just like how.
That's her.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's her. She gets her ass kicked out of the dream. But anyway, it really starts getting weird. Even before she gives birth. Did you notice the when Wanda's talking to Vision, she's like, yeah, it just seems that everyone in this town is like on the verge of our secret, which is kind of like a classic sitcom trope. It's like, oh, someone almost finds out, but oh, you know, they figure out some like logical explanation, some silly explanation of what's going on. But when Vision was talking to her, and he's like, yeah, something does seem off, and
then she like rewound him.
Yeah, she like blinks, and then it's like that was like
we're both anxious, honey. Don't worry.
Yeah, that I thought that was like a trip thing, like because when I saw it last week, I was like, was this supposed to be in there? I'm like, okay, yeah, it was. And I'm like, that seems good, but it seems so out of place. It doesn't seem like, okay,
if you blink, you might miss it.
yeah. I mean, that's literally what she did. She blinked. She blinked. She blinked, and then, it kind of like rewound itself. But it wasn't like in episode 2 when she finds the beekeeper, where she's like, no. And then it clearly rewinds back to a certain part. So
it happened a lot faster. She's getting more powerful, it seems like, within this world.
And I just don't know what's going on. I mean, she has been suffering for a while throughout her entire journey within the MCU. She's had her highs, her lows, but it definitely seems she's had more lows than highs. But we still need to figure out, obviously this is all happening because of the death of Vision. But when she talks to Geraldine after she gives the birth of the twins, she kind of like snaps out of it again, and she's like,
"Oh, I'm a twin. My brother Pietro."
Yeah.
And then Geraldine's like, "He was killed by Ultron, wasn't he?" And I was like, "Whoa!"
I was like, "Oh,
that's creepy."
Yeah,
she was really like hitting the nail on the head.
Yep. She was like, "What did you say?" I was like, "Oh shit, it's over." I'm like, "Oh, the ruse is up." I was not like, she was not having it. She was not having it at all, man. I couldn't. I was like, oh man, she definitely struck a nerve there. And then, Wanda's like, what did you say? And then something happens, and Geraldine gets her ass kicked right out of, like, it seems that like she's in the.
It was so creepy too, because she was like, or Vision was like, where'd Geraldine go? And she's like, she had to hurry home. She left. Don't worry, I just kicked her out of my pocket universe.
Like, so it looks like, at first you don't see where she is, and towards the end of the episode, it's almost as if Wanda is like floating in midair. It's because she like felt, because Geraldine or Monica, she fell from the sky, and it was just like,
yeah, it's like out of this different world, like bubble.
Yeah, and then it's like there's this facility next to her, and all these trucks and like soldiers, whoever, come out and try to like see what's going on, and then the episode kind of just ends, and then we get a nice little Beatles jam. But yeah, but I guess overall, like, I really did enjoy this episode, even building up to it, when she's with the stork, and building up to the births, and she's trying to hide her pregnancy, and Vision is, being supportive. But I will say, I think the funniest part in this entire episode, it was a quick little one-liner during the very beginning.
The mustache guy.
Yeah.
It's always the mustache guy with these one-liners.
What is his name? God, I got to figure out his name. I really don't know. Because his wife, was it Dottie? I think it was. She was like, does this earrings make me look fat? And then the power goes out. He's like, oh, thank God. That was just like the funniest thing. I
think his name is Phil Jones.
Phil Jones. Is that the actor's name, or is that
That's the character's name? The actor is David Lingle.
David Lingle. He looks like a little Lingle. Yeah,
that mustache, a powerful stash.
I think that was more. Was it as powerful as Ron Swanson's mustache?
No, nothing compares.
That is true. Well, like, I remember, oh man, I won't get into not Community, Parks and Rec, but yeah, this episode.
There's so much happened in this episode. They established so much. They established that she does remember Pietro and what happened to him. She doesn't like what happened to him, obviously. They established that she's having twins, both named the same as Wiccan and Speed. Are they real, though? That's the question. Are they real babies?
Yeah. Has Vision been brought back in some way, shape, or form? That's another question. And, with Sword and also really quick, when Vision goes out after Wanda has her twins, when she's
that little discussion with the neighbors.
Yeah. And
that got a little creepy, because they're just like, we have to tell you something. We're not who you think we are. We are. And they just couldn't spit it out.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I think it was Herb or whatever. He's like, it's because we're in a, and then
it's like, we are what, sword agents, scrolls?
Yeah.
What are you?
But I've also noticed
Zombies.
or even the backdrop of Herb, it seemed very flat. It didn't really seem like it kind of seemed that like it stopped there, like towards the end of the street, whatever. Because like you see him walk away, but the camera never pans on him walking away. He kind of just turns the other way, and then he's just like gone. And then I keep forgetting the character's name. The lady, what's her face? God,
Agnes.
Yeah, Agnes. She's like, oh, we got to get home to her husband and Frank,
whoever this mysterious husband is.
Yeah, we still haven't seen him, but yeah, she kind of stops Herb from Agnes kind of stops Herb from saying, what's up, because they clearly know something that's going on, and clearly Geraldine
I feel like how they're building that up so early. Episode 3, they're not giving it away, but they're letting us know that there's something going on.
Yeah,
and everyone knows about it too. The neighbors aren't just like brain dead, just walking around not knowing what's going on. They know something is happening.
Yeah, because right now we're 1/3 of into the actual series. 6 more weeks left, so that will be interesting. But I kind of like how they are planting the seed early, and how it's just. I really just like it. I like it a lot. I'm having a really good time with it. It's keeping us guessing. It's like you say, they're giving us information, but not too much, because clearly there are clips from the oh my gosh, from the trailers and whatnot we still haven't seen yet. So I'm just gonna let it play out. It is really fun to theorize, but I'm really just enjoying it for what it is. I really am. So you want to get into scores for episode 3, aka In Color?
Yeah, we also got to mention that commercial, 1 per episode, Hydra soap.
Oh yeah,
right on the nose.
Hydra that one. I really like it how they have
wash away your memory and become brainwashed by Hydra. Is that what that is?
I don't. Oh, you know what? I didn't even think about that. I was just like, oh, this is a nice little Hydra nod. But yeah, that actually does make a lot of sense, especially with the Winter Soldier. So yeah. I really do enjoy the fake little commercials.
We also should mention, we're going to get an Evan Peters appearance coming up here. He's supposed to be in the cast.
I think we should. Is he
figure out
really?
how that's going to work.
Do you think he's going to play Tommy or Billy? Because
Quicksilver,
because if these babies are popping out within 12 minutes, God knows how fast they're going to be.
Yeah,
aging.
they're going to be growing up pretty fast. Yeah, probably.
So
but I think he's got to be Quicksilver. He'll be an alternate universe Quicksilver or something.
Why do you people like this man so much?
You're the only person in the world who prefers Aaron Taylor Johnson Quicksilver.
Didn't see that
Nothing against him, but his character didn't do anything.
He didn't. I just liked how cool he looked. I love Age of Ultron.
His outfit was just like a basic little
Nike
tracksuit.
It was exactly. It made sense.
He didn't have the cool silver hair or anything.
Yeah, he had more like blonde, like bleach blonde streaks in his hair. Yeah. But yeah, it is what it is. We'll see, because apparently there's like a surprise guest in here that isn't Quicksilver, supposedly, or maybe that was him that they were talking about. I'm not sure. But anything else you wanted to touch on before we give our scores for WandaVision episode 3?
I'm just happy we're getting these next 3 kind of 30-minute-ish episodes.
I'm really glad they're around 30 minutes. I'm not gonna lie.
But then the final 3, they're really gonna be pushing it out. It's gonna be nice and give it some length.
You think the last 3 are gonna be super long?
I'd say 40s.
Yeah. Especially because we're not technically getting a season 2, because this is
because they won't be doing the sitcom thing. The last 3, like the first 6 episodes, are all based on a different decade.
Yeah. Because
we're in the 70s now.
Yeah, we're in the 70s now.
80s next week.
Yeah, because it was 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. They'll probably do the 90s.
Yeah, it'll be Full House.
Oh God. If there's a Full House reference
and Roseanne will probably be the early 2000s one.
Yeah, because we kind of see her in that flannel.
And I think the 2010s will be Modern Family.
Oh, Oh, okay. I like the way you think, Devin. I like the way you think. That's really nice. But let's get into our scores here. Let's wrap up this whole podcast. What would you give WandaVision season 1, episode 3 out of 100?
90. Just straight up. Got the job done.
I'm going 95.
Gave us some more. Oh, 95.
I'm going 95. I think this is the best one we've like. I love the first two. I love the intros.
Gave us the juiciest breadcrumbs to work with.
Yeah.
Like, it gave us a lot of little things to pay attention to.
And the fact that the theme song keeps changing each week. Give it to me. Yes. Love it. Absolutely love it. This one was very, very 70s.
The first one was still the best.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Wanda.
wait, hold on. There we go. There we go. I love it. But yeah, so a 90 out of 100 and from Devin and a 95 from me. So next week we'll definitely have to keep tabs. I think
it's going to keep going up every week. I really feel like that's how it's going, the trajectory.
Yeah, I really agree with you there because I just love it. It's like each episode just keeps getting better and better, and it's just these are perfect. You know, they're not super long episodes. Not every single show on Earth needs to be 40 to 50 to an hour long just because that's the standard. If you can tell your story and get your point across within the amount of time that 30 minutes, there you go. Congratulations. There's been super powerful episodes of sitcoms in the past within Boy Meets World, that 70s show, and so on and so forth in the past, and even Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, that have told a very powerful story within less than 30 minutes, 22 to 24 minutes. And they're still talked about today. So I'm glad that they're going this route, and just I'm glad, I'm happy, I'm ecstatic. But that pretty much concludes today's review. So that's a wrap for today. Thank you all for listening, and make sure to check out the other shows over on MusicCityDriveIn.com, and make sure to subscribe to our show so you never miss an episode. That was Devin, and my name is Christian, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Yeah. See, we'll figure that out. We'll time it out. It's about 20 seconds. So, but yeah, that's it. We'll see you guys next week.